How to snowblow. Sounds easy, right? Just move the snow off of where you want no snow. And sure, if you have a straight driveway, it's not really that big of a problem. But if you're on a farm, usually what happens is you have a pathway going there, the driveway coming in, the driveway where you park, a circular spot where you turn around, maybe a path over there to the chicken coop. So what you don't want to do is start going back over and over and over stuff non-stop. You also don't want to be hitting the house with the snow or putting snow where you don't want it. For example, we have a garden here that has lots of bulbs in it, tulips and that sort of thing. So what I want to try and do is keep the snow off of that so it melts faster in the spring and the flowers come up faster. So how do you manage all of that to make it more efficient and more effective? Well, the first thing you do is when you put your tractor away at night with the snowblower on, park it backwards in the garage. That way, when it snows, you can back right out and just cut a swath of snow of where you want to go. Second thing you'll want to do is try and figure out a pattern that works well for you. Again, you don't want to be going over the same ground all the time. You don't want to be blowing snow onto a path where you've already cleared. So you want to try and think ahead a little bit, but also what I'd suggest too is do your driveway a few times. Blow the snow a few times, try some different patterns, try some different angles where you want to move the snow to, and you'll kind of start getting a feel for what works, what doesn't work. So when I talked about not going over the same place a couple times, right here by our garage, I came out of the garage, I made my one strip, and then I came up to the garage with the tractor and I made a couple more strips over to the porch on the house. So that cleared off this section here. What I didn't clear was this section right in front of the garage. However, I'm not worried about that right now because when I do that pathway going down there and the driveway coming in, I can cut a straight line straight in front of the garage and clear all that snow right there. When I'm clearing the driveway beside the house, we actually have our food forest here with lots of young trees, lots of plants in the garden right here. What I don't want to do is put all the snow onto those trees. I don't want to hit the branches with the trees because I don't want, or hit the branches with the snow because I don't want to break them with the snow coming out of the chute. So don't be afraid when you're doing something like this, is actually blow the snow straight ahead to where you're actually still clearing. Blowing snow onto where you're still clearing is okay. Blowing snow onto where you've already cleared is not okay. On a lot of the sections where I blow snow as well, having the hydraulic chute is really handy because I can change it instantly in the direction it goes. So right here I can put snow over into this area, and then when I reach the cow field I can switch and throw it over onto the other side without blinking. I can just keep going, change the direction of the snow. Some things that are hard to deal with when snow blowing is the wind. You want to try and blow with the wind all the time, but that doesn't always work. So sometimes putting the actual end of your chute, putting this nozzle lower so you fire it right at the ground helps. Putting it high in the air is just going to blow snow back on you if the wind's going the wrong way. So I want to clear the snow off in front of the garage. Say it's really windy and the wind's blowing that way. Well, if I start the snowblower on and go in front of the garage, I'm going to get a ton of snow in the garage. Remember, you don't have to turn that snowblower on. You can use it and just push or pull snow as well. So if I go in front of the garage when it's windy, I can push snow over to the edge of the garage and then turn it on and get rid of that snow. On sections like this, where I've already cleared a path down the center and I still have snow on either side, don't be afraid to blow the snow over top of something you've cleared. It's not going to affect it that much unless you're blowing snow onto what you've already cleared. Just make sure your nozzle and chute is pointed the right direction and get it right over top of where you've already cleared. Now when I leave the garage and I clear this strip along here right away, what ended up happening is I have a big section down here. So usually I try and do like a little parking spot here or turn around for our one doorway, the back door. I try and clear this area too. Again, if we have trucks or deliveries, we've got a big spot for them to turn around. And we also have the path going over there to the chicken coop. So what I usually do is I'll clear a lot of this driveway right here behind me, this one. And then as I get sort of close, I'll actually stay down on this end. And I'll clear, because of the tractor's coming from the garage this way, I'll clear this area and then I'll continue backwards and I'll go up and clear the chicken coop. And then what I'll do is I'll come back here and I'm kind of facing in the right direction with the tractor that I can back down and clear this area here. So another thing to remember too, when you're snow blowing, is if you have kids or have nieces and nephews or have neighbors or you want to have fun, don't forget to use your snowblower for good. Use it to build hills and forts and stuff like that that the kids can play on. So we have these two big round bales of straw that we're going to use for mulch. So why not cover them up with snow? So we have a big hill for the kids to slide on or play King of the Castle or all of that kind of stuff. Make sure you plan ahead. Make something for the kids. One of the most important parts about snow blowing is the prep work before you even start snow blowing, before the snow even comes down. You want to make sure you remove dog bones, dog toys, children's toys, big rocks. Make sure you know where wires are. This is the outdoor leash for our hound dog when we stick them outside on the leash. Make sure you pick up newspapers. If you get newspapers delivered to your end of the driveway and they throw it on the driveway, make sure those get picked up. Make sure sticks get picked up, branches get picked up. Anywhere where you're snow blowing, you don't want any material, because what'll happen is that'll go through the snow blower and usually jam it up. There's two parts to your snow blower. The auger right here, and then whatever that piece is called. That piece is very sensitive to rocks, newspapers, branches, dog toys. What'll happen is it gets stuck in between the paddles here and the outside of the snowblower, and that will actually stick and clog up. What'll usually happen is you'll break a shear pin. That's the nice part. What else can happen is it's jammed in there for a while, and especially with stuff like newspapers, it'll take you forever to try and get that unclogged. You're usually taking a hammer and a chisel or a screwdriver and picking it out piece by piece. It's not fun. So make sure everything's cleaned up before you start snow blowing. So how do you do the end of your driveway with a snow blower? Well, if you're on a busy road, what I'd suggest is actually go backwards multiple times, clearing off the end of your driveway, and stop about a foot or 2 feet from where the snowplow has gone by. So the snowplow's made a line. You push backwards with your snowblower about 2 feet from that. And you do that for each section of your driveway until you're cleared on your driveway. Now you only have one strip of snow going this way across. Now what you can do is go out onto the road, but you're facing the oncoming traffic. Now come back across backwards and clear off that mound of snow that you piled up with your snowblower. This way you can see what's coming and you can reverse quickly if need be, or you can see when it's clear to go out onto the road a bit to reverse. And always make sure too that you have your four-way flashers on, your headlights. If you have one of the orange lights, the circly swirly or blue light for snow plowing, make sure that's on as well. You want to make sure any cars coming at you can see you well in advance, especially since it's winter and the roads could be slippery. Now, why do I have the snowblower on the back instead of the front, since it's a new tractor and I could have gone with the front mount snowblower? Because I like having my bucket very accessible. That way I can move snow with my bucket, I can move animal feed with my bucket, I can pile up snow with my bucket. I can do a lot of things with my bucket. I can actually pull snow backwards if I need to. So instead of going out onto the road, if it's really busy, I can use my bucket and drag snow back from the edge of the road without exposing myself to any dangers. And then I can snow blow it out of the way. Right now I've got the hay forks on, or the bale spears, because I was moving hay around. And it's also a quick detach, so it takes me 3 minutes to change that over to the bucket. Yes, my neck hurts sometimes after snow blowing for a while, but I'd rather have that than have the snowblower mounted on the front and lose the ability to use my bucket. So that's probably about enough of me chatting and blabbing on about how I do things. I've got to continue filling up the cow's water right now and finish the driveway off. So if you have any questions or have any thoughts, feel free to put them down in the comments, and I love answering. So talk to you soon, guys. Love ya. And I know once you finish snow plowing and snow blowing, you're gonna be cold, wet, maybe tired, depending on how big your driveway is. But make sure you clear all this snow off. You don't want it sitting there and then put it in the garage to melt, or what'll happen sometimes is you'll get a warm day, that'll melt a bit, and then it'll freeze, and then you'll have chunks of ice frozen on your machines. It's not good.